What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne,
I'm Alicia.
and we are Black Board Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there.
Waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't want a complication. Complication.
So, we revisited a game that we had played recently because I received a review copy of the expansion.
That game is Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig.
This game was designed by Ben Rossett and Matthew O'Malley and published by Stonemaier Games with Bezier Games.
Let's go to the table for an overview of how this game is played.
Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig is a tile drafting semi-cooperative game for 3 to 7 players where the players take on the roles of master builders. To set up the game, we would take these game trays and place them in the middle of the table in reach of all players. The larger game tray holds all 147 of the room tiles that we'll be placing in our castles, and they're all shuffled up and placed in their spots. We also have the throne rooms, which we will also shuffle, but then randomly place one in between each pair of players. We will next take these wooden castle tokens, and they're all different, which is really cool. And we will place one of those under each of the throne rooms. The smaller tray holds all the bonus tiles that we can place in our castle, royal attendants, and these bonus cards that will be shuffled up and placed in their spot. And I'll tell you how all this here works in a little bit. Once we've done that, the game can begin. So what you're doing is you are tasked with building 2 castles, but you are building these 2 castles with the help of both players to either side of you. So the castle to your left, you are cooperatively building it with a player to your left, and the castle to your right, you are cooperatively building it with the player to your right. So on your turn, and all players are doing this simultaneously, you're going to draw 9 room tiles from the game tray. Then you're going to take a look at all of them, checking them out, giving them a good once over, and you're going to end up picking 2 of them. So, say I pick these 2, I place them face down in front of me. And then the ones I didn't pick, I'm going to slide under this wooden castle token to my left. And that's letting everybody know that I've made my decision. Now, remember the player to my right, he's doing the same thing. So the ones he didn't pick, he's going to place under the castle token to the left of him. So on the next turn, when we pick 2 tiles, I'm going to grab these and take a look at them. And the player to my left is going to grab these. Once we've all made our choice, we're going to reveal our room tiles. And then open discussion will begin. So I'm going to discuss with the player to my left why I want to place this room tile in this castle and how it will score us points. Player to my right, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So each turn, each castle is going to get 2 rooms. And what we're trying to do is maximize the score that we can have with both our castles. Because at the end of the game, your final score is going to be your lowest scoring castle. So you want to make sure you're devoting your efforts to making sure both of those castles score highly. Now, how do I score the castles? Well, first of all, let's take a look at the throne rooms. So this throne room is going to score me 2 points per food room or sleeping room. Where those little black dots is, it shows that these rooms need to be to the left or upper left. And it doesn't matter, it could be 2 food rooms or 2 sleeping rooms. But as long as they're in those spots, I will score 2 points per that. So each throne room is going to score me 4 points. This throne room will score me 2 points per living room or corridor to the left or the right. So like I said, it could be 2 living rooms, and this could score me 4 points. Now, let's take a look at the 7 room types and how they score. Each player will have one of these nice player aid cards where they can reference how each of the 7 room types are scored. But I think it'd be fun if we take a look at them anyway. So this is the food room, as you can see in the upper left hand corner. And when placing a food room in your castle, they have to be placed on the same level as the throne room or above it. So this one, the chocolate room, will score 2 points per downstairs room immediately placed below it or the next level down. And the maximum points that a food room can score is 4 points. This one, the afternoon tea room, will score 2 points per sleeping room directly above it or below it. If ever you place a third food room in your castle, you will gain that specific bonus. And the bonus for the food room is you get to draw 5 face down room tiles from the game tray, pick one to place in your castle, discarding the other 4 out of the game. Of course, you have to remember that you have to discuss it with that player that's helping you build that particular castle. Living rooms have to be placed on the same level as your throne room or above it, and they can score you a maximum of 8 points in the game. So this living room, the parlor, will score you 1 point per food room that surrounds it, as you can see by this diagram. The observatory will score you 1 point per living room directly around it. Same way. So if I had this room here, this would be scoring me 1 point. If ever I place a third living room in my castle, then I will get that particular bonus. And that means I will be able to get a royal attendant. And these are placed in one of the 2 spots in the throne room. And so this royal attendant will give me 1 point per wall hanging, that particular wall hanging. As you can see, both of these living rooms have that wall hanging. So this will come in scoring me 2 points right away. Utility rooms have to be placed on the same level as the throne room or above, and they will score 1 point per connected room of a certain type. So this room, which is the scythe room, will score 1 victory point per connected downstairs room. This powder room will score 1 point per connected food room. If ever a third utility room is placed in the castle, then we will draw 3 of these bonus cards, check them out, pick one. So let's say we pick this one. That will give us 2 points per every living room in that castle. We'll place this face down and remove the other 2 from the game. Outdoor rooms have to be placed on the same level as the throne room or above it, and they score points based on other room types in the castle. So this vineyard will score 1 point for every living room in that castle. This aviary will score 1 point per utility room in that castle. I'm really beginning to see a pattern here. Now, when playing the outdoor room, they have the blue border. So once you place it into your castle, you can't place something above it because they're supposed to be outdoors. Now, whenever you place a third outdoor room into your castle, then you'll be able to go to the bonus box and grab one of these fountains. And you can place that in your castle, and that will score you 5 victory points at the end of the game. Sleeping rooms must be placed on the same level as the throne room or above, and they will score you 4 points if you have each of all the room types in your castle. And that's what all the sleeping rooms do. If you don't have all 6 of those other room types in the castle, then this tile will only score you 1 point. If ever you place a third sleeping room in your castle, then you will go to the bonus tray and grab one of these towers and place it in your castle. And you see by the blue border is considered like an outdoors, but this tower will score 1 point per room underneath it. So if you got 5 rooms underneath this tower, you will score 5 points at the end of the game. Corridors can be placed anywhere in the castle, so they can be placed below the throne room. And they score 1 point per room that surrounds it that has a particular wall hanging. So this Hall of Portraits will score 1 point per room that has the painting wall hanging, which you can see up in the upper right hand corner. And the Hall of Ghosts will score 1 point per room that has the mirror wall hanging. If ever you place a third corridor into your castle, then you'll be able to go get one of these grand foyers from the bonus tray and stick that into your castle. And this scores 1 point per room that surrounds it. It doesn't matter what type of room it is. And last but not least are the downstairs rooms. And these rooms must be placed below the throne room. And they score points for a particular type of room that's in a vertical line above or below it. So this one, the laboratory, what are they doing? This one will score 1 point per utility room that's above it. This other one, the crypt, oh really? This one will score 1 point per downstairs room above or below it. And those are all the room types that come with the base game. So play will continue like that with the players drafting tiles and placing tiles into their castles until each player is left with just one tile in their hand. At which time they're going to discard that tile from the game, and then they're going to start a second round, which goes just like the first round. They're going to take 9 tiles and choose 2 and place them in front of themselves. But instead of passing their unchosen tiles to the left, they're going to pass them over to the right. And then the second round is going to go the same as the first round until each player is left with one tile in their hand. And then the game will come to an end. At which time the players are going to score their castles using this real handy dandy score sheet that really helps a lot. Once everybody has scored the castles, each player will take the score of their lowest scoring castle, and that will be their final score. And whoever has the highest score will be the winner of Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. So we kind of gave you an idea of what we think of this game in a recent video, but we want to go into more detail, okay? So let's go straight to it. What did you think about the theme of this game?
I mean, the theme doesn't capture my imagination, but honestly, I don't think the theme is deep in this game isn't deeply thematic.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're just placing tiles. So it's not a strong theme.
It's
I
not
mean,
strong.
but I like the idea of building a castle.
Okay.
I like that. So what did you think about the components?
Actually, I like the components. The castles are cute, but I actually really like those tiles. I like the sturdiness of them. I like the feel of them in my hands. I even like the pattern on the back. So I like the tiles.
I like the castles. I like the fact that they're different castles. I love that. I love the game tray that everything is in.
Oh, I love the game tray.
Because everything's organized.
Yes, yes.
Setup is really, really easy.
Yes.
And I mean, I like you can't comment on the rule book because I read the rules.
Yeah.
But the rule book pages, that finish or whatever, I think they call it linen finish or whatever, I really like that. So I like the components of this game.
Actually, I like the components of the game.
So what did you think about the art?
So the art on the tiles is really very pretty. I love that. There's only one beef I have with the art. It's just they're so tiny. I can't see. So
Right. But no, I get that because you got to really look at the
yes,
to take in all the because there's a lot of details in
it's
those
a lot of
tiles.
details and they're small.
Yeah. So you want if you're trying to admire the art, that that's kind of hard.
However, the art is quite pretty.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna be honest. This game came out. I think it's like 2018.
Yes.
And I was really attracted to the box cover. If I was like that box cover, that blue, the castle, and all that. I really love that. And every time I go past it in the game store, I'm like, I should get that game. But it's not a game that you're gonna play with everybody all the time.
This is
But
true.
I just love the look of that box.
Okay.
Okay. So, what do you think about the mechanics?
Well, there are not a lot of mechanics. It's tile drafting and
Tile
it's
placement.
Tile placement.
Yeah, you're placing tiles, building your castle. So that's really short and sweet.
Yes.
What do you think about the teach?
Even though you're only doing two things, this is a gamer's game.
Yeah,
This is not, this is a game, this is a gamer's game.
yeah, it's a lot of information.
Yes.
To
consider.
Yeah, you gotta love puzzles. You
Yes.
gotta love puzzles. I
Yeah.
mean that's it. And I'm a puzzle guy.
Yes.
All right, so overall? What are your feelings about this game?
So, I actually think it's very clever the way they created a game where you have to play cooperatively and competitively in the same game. So while I think it's clever,
It's not something you want to do.
it's not something I want to do. Exactly. I either want to play cooperatively or competitively. And honestly, trying to build two castles is a bit much for me.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Oh, now overall, I have a different feeling. I love it. I'm gonna be honest. I really like the game because I'm a puzzle guy. And just that added challenge of solving two puzzles at the same time. I really, I really am attracted to that. So I like it. So of course, seeing my wife's feelings for it, I figured it was going to be a wash. Because, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to play this game with my wife. But then like I said, I got a review copy of the expansion, which is called Secrets Soirees. And before I tell you what she thought about that, let's go to the table for an overview of what this expansion adds to the game. The Secrets and Soirees expansion for Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig not only adds an 8th player, but adds rules for solo play and a few other things. You get another game tray which holds a bunch of extra room tiles. You can hold this wooden castle for the 8th player. You got some room type tokens, which I'll explain these in a little bit. You also have another specialty room tile, which is the ballroom. And I'll talk about how you get those. Included in those extra room tiles are 2 new room tile types. The first of the 2 new room types in the expansion are activity rooms. And of course, when placing activity rooms, they have to be placed at throne level or above. Now, how these rooms score? They will score 1 point for every vertical or horizontally adjacent room to that room tile. So at the most, an activity room can score 4 points. But if there's a particular room type that's anywhere around it, then this room will only score 1 point, and this will be null and void. So if you look at this game room, if there's a corridor anywhere around this room, it will only score 1 point. This boxing room, if there's a food room anywhere around it, this room will only score 1 point. if ever a third activity room is placed in that castle, then the guys building that castle will be able to draw 3 of these ballroom specialty tiles. Pick one and place it into their castle. And so this ballroom score of for room types in other people's castles that's adjacent to this castle. So this ballroom would score 1 point per food room in the 2 adjacent castles. The second of the new room types are secret rooms, which is this one here. So when you place this in your castle, it will copy the room that's adjacent to it in the direction of the arrow. So if you see this room is pointing over here, you got this outdoor room. So now the secret room becomes a copy of that room. And you would take these room tokens that come with the expansion and place it on there. So now at the end of the game, this outdoor room is going to score you 1 point per sleeping quarters. This room is going to do the exact same thing. And if you have any other rooms in your castle that score for every outdoor room or being adjacent to an outdoor room, this one counts as an outdoor room now. The expansion also comes with new player aid cards, which includes how to score the new rooms, a new score sheet where you're scoring the new rooms, and rules for solo play, which I really appreciate. So in the base game, they had a 2-player variant, but you're still building 2 castles. So we're playing with the Automa, and we're still each building 2 castles. But in the expansion, they have a 2-player variant where you're only building 1 castle. So I figured like that maybe my wife might find that a little easier. So I had said, hey, what if you're just building 1 castle? You want to try it out? And she was like, okay. So we gave it a shot. What did you think about that?
So obviously, building one castle was a lot easier. So I do like that better. And also, just playing it more times, you get a better feel for um, how to place your tiles and what things to think about when you're placing your tiles. So it does improve with repeated play. Here's here's the thing. For me, it's all about balance. So it's still a lot to think about, bottom line.
Yeah.
When I play Calico, even though Calico is challenging, all you have to think about in Calico is you have to worry about matching patterns or matching colors. And so when you're figuring out which tile you're going to select and where you're going to place it, those are the 2 things you're always thinking about. But in this game, you're thinking about so many different things
Yeah.
that for me, it's just too much.
No, I understand that. You brought up Calico, and like you said, you only got to pay attention to the color or the pattern. Now, Calico is a brain burner, but I get what you're saying. Where in this game, you got 7 different room tiles, and you got to make sure you don't place this next to something, or make sure this can only go above the throne room, and it's a lot of information.
Yes.
And I know, like, when we play a game, I know you're more like in information. Give me the information, and I can work with that. I've seen you fly through crossword puzzles because you got a lot of information up there. With me, I'm just more of a puzzle guy. You can put a puzzle in front of me, like, how can I figure out this puzzle? So, so this game, like I said, it comes with a solo mode, which I really appreciate. So now I can see myself, I can still get this game to the table without dragging my wife into it,
I appreciate the solo mode too. So this isn't a game that I hate. It's just not a game that I'm going to want to play again and again and again. So when I play a challenging game, like when I play Paleo, It was challenging. But when I overcame the challenges and we won, I felt a sense of accomplishment. And I don't know what it is about this game, but it's a lot of work. And when I'm done, I don't get to sit back and feel like
You really did something.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Yes.
I mean, that's the opposite for me. I'm like trying. I'm like, oh man, this castle looks sweet, and I'm appreciating some of the rooms and all
See,
that.
it doesn't have that effect for me. It feels just like a big hodgepodge.
Right. Okay. So overall, I really enjoy Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. My wife, not so much, but that's cool. Because every game isn't for everybody.
Exactly.
If you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And like I said, I'm Dwayne.
I'm Alicia.
We are Blackboard Gaming.
And we will see you next time.